am Jill Wyckoff with Kingdom Creativity International, and I'm excited to be doing a series where I'm interviewing incredible artists. And today I have with me Charity Williams. Hi, Charity.
Hi.
How you doing this morning?
Doing good.
Doing
How are
good.
you?
I'm doing good too. I've got my coffee. Let me see.
Yes.
Have your coffee?
Have my coffee.
So mine says, I don't know if you can see it. Hello, gorgeous.
Hello, gorgeous. Mine says Hope Dealer. It's backwards, but it says Hope Dealer.
Perfect. Hope Dealer. That's
yes.
you. You're
That's
a Hope
me.
Dealer. That's perfect. Okay. I'm going to take a sip of coffee and you tell our audience, what is your creative expressions, because I know you have a number of them.
Yes. I am one of the multifaceted creatives. I write, I draw, I paint, I crochet, I pretty much anything creative, I've done it or tried it or I'm willing to learn it. I've always been fascinated by all things creative. So whether it's making art from sticks and stones or making art from string or
I love it.
Anything. So yeah.
I love it. And we met at Kingdom Writers Association.
Yes.
And so we met. I know that you are in the Southern Oregon chapter of KOPA. Yeah, we love our Southern Oregon group, and
yes.
You guys are on fire up there.
Yes.
We had the pleasure of hanging out with you. I think it was a couple months back. Anyway, and that's when I remember sitting with you, and you drew something, and I was like, oh, she's an artist too. And then then of course we find out that you are a multi-talented, multi-creative individual, and you've been that way all your life. Have you been that way?
All my life.
All your life.
All the things. All my life.
Yeah. I love that.
I was terrified to paint. I always did colored pencil and pencil art and things like that because I could control it, and paint was absolutely terrifying. But I grew out of that. So I'm learning to, stretch my wings a little bit.
It's funny what happens when you just plow through and you just do it.
Yep.
And then you discover things.
Yes.
Right? I love that. So, so tell me, what does God have you on now? Like what kind of assignment? Because you do so many things. So, different seasons, he calls us to do different things, and gives us different assignments. What is God calling you to do now with your creative expression?
Right now I'm really focusing on my Hope shoes. And that's kind of where I feel drawn right now. And
okay, writing. So tell us about Hope shoes. Sorry to interject. Tell us about Hope shoes, because our audience, not all of them knows about Hope shoes, and I love what you're doing. So tell them about Hope shoes, what it is, how it started, all of that.
Okay. So Hope shoes is, it's my artistic ministry. I'll call it that. It started out of a place in my own life where I needed healing. I needed hope for myself. I had gotten really sick and was going through a really hard time. And I knew that I needed a reminder, something that I could have with me at all times to be able to remind myself of, no, I am healed. No, I am well. No, I am hopeful. I have joy. I have peace. I have courage. I'm brave. I can do this. As I walked through getting better from being really sick. And so God gave me the idea, make shoes. Why don't you paint some shoes? And so I painted my own shoes, and I had all my words written on there that I could they were bright and happy and cheerful, which is none of the things that I felt at the time. I was, feeling scared and all the things, all the negative, but I was like, no, I'm going to conquer this, and I'm going to write all the positive things, all the beautiful, wonderful things that God tells me, so that I can physically walk it out and look at my feet and go, okay, that's right. I can do this. I am brave. I am healed. I am well. I do have joy, as well as the spiritual, just to say, no, I'm proclaiming this. This is the ground I'm taking. I'm moving forward. I'm healing. I'm marching in the victory that God has given me. I might not see it yet. I might not be there yet, but I am doing this. And so that's kind of where it started for me. After that, I tried to launch it and tried to do it for other people, but it wasn't the right time. And so nothing really happened with it. And then several months ago at church, probably maybe 6 months ago or 4 months ago, my pastor gave me a word, and I was wearing my shoes, and he gave me a word, and he was like, you know, there's something about your shoes. There's something about it's hope. It's hope shoes. You're a hope carrier. You're a hope giver, and the enemy comes against you to destroy your hope constantly. He's like, but you're a fighter, and you're going to win this thing. And your job, your ministry is to bring hope to other people and to empower them. And I was like, whoa, I was like, that's it. Like, that's it. They're hope shoes. I'm like, that's what I'm supposed to do. And so it was like a light bulb went off in my heart. And somebody came over during the service, and they said, you know what? I want to partner with this vision, and I see it and I believe in it, and I want to buy the shoes. So you find the shoes, you tell me how much it is, and I'm going to take care of that. And I was like, oh my gosh, God, this is so amazing. So Hope Shoes was launched, and I've been able to send shoes across the United States to different places. I'm working with a teacher to actually partner with her to help her art students kind of discover their own journey of who they are and what they believe about themselves. And we're working on figuring out whether we're going to do like a contest for a design, and whoever designs the best shoe, or she might do a drawing. I'm going to actually paint their design on their own pair of Hope shoes and send those off to that student, and which is like so exciting, because I'm like, it's going to impact kids and the adults that have already ordered their own shoes. So yeah, that's kind of what it's about. It's about for me is yeah,
I love it. I love
exciting.
I remember seeing you in your shoes when I met you. And I was like looking at those shoes, like, those shoes are a party, man. They are just like they're just a party. I love them. And I said, where did you get those shoes? And you're like, I made them. And I'm like, what? You made them? And so we have, I'm so excited about what you're doing. You are part of our Fellowship of Artists on Kingdom Creativity International. So folks, go to the website, look up that tab, Fellowship of Artists, and you'll see Charity and can get connected with her. We are going to, when I post this video, we're going to post pictures as well, so you can see the work that she does. And I understand that you can, like if I said to you, I want the words truth, I want the words life, whatever words I want on there, you will create on the shoe. So these are completely custom, guys. They're completely custom. And I love what you talked about with the kids, because kids need to be reminded of who they are and what they carry, and and they come against a whole lot of stuff. We come against stuff, they come against stuff, and they don't always have the tools to be able to handle that. So to be able to look down at their feet, I'm looking down at my feet, and I'm being reminded of hope. Yes. I'm being reminded of joy. I'm being reminded, I love what you're doing. I love the partnerships that are happening. I just prophesy more partnerships, more people, more organizations coming around to say, we want this. We want this. I don't know. I think Tom's, big. Yeah. And so I'm just prophesying that. And I love that, waving my pen around a lot. Put my pen down. I love that your pastor saw in you and pulled out that gold and launched you. And that's such an important thing for us as creatives, to get around those people who will see us the way God sees us and pull us up into it, because a lot of times we don't start there. And so we need someone to pull us up. And so speaking of that, Charity, tell me, what has been some of your one or more of your biggest challenges or obstacles as you have embarked on this creative journey?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is just to believe in myself, to believe that I've got what it takes, to believe that I think all of us are born with something in our spirits. And I think as kids, we learn to silence those things because society says it's not enough, it's not valuable, or we say it's not valuable, we don't have the value for it anymore. It's that's just what I did as a kid, it doesn't mean anything. To go back in those places and go, no, it actually has value, and I am an artist, and I do believe in myself, and I can make beautiful things. And it's not just doodling, it's not just something that I do as a hobby. It's written on my DNA who I am, who God made me to be, and to go, okay, I'm going to trust that, even though everything in my life was always, you're smart, you're brilliant, you should do business, you should do this, you should do that. I just put the creativity on the shelf, and I said, well, it's just for fun, it's just for me, it doesn't mean anything, it has no value, it has no purpose. And to get healing in my heart, and go, no, actually I was designed to be a creative, and the creative is the best part of who I am and how God designed me to be, and to begin to pull on that and to remember who I was, who I was when God created me, when he breathed on me, he breathed creativity, and to go, no, it has purpose. I'm going somewhere with this. And so that belief in myself, that belief in my skill, and the comparison thing. I grew up, my mom is an artist. We would sit down and do coloring pages together, and I would rip mine up and throw it away because it was never good enough. It was never like hers. It was never beautiful and wonderful, and her stuff was always perfect. And I'd try to be like her and try to do, and I couldn't do it, So I grew up comparing my art, comparing myself, comparing my value, comparing, all those things. And so I had to learn that even comparing myself with what I would see in my head versus what would come out on my paper was always so different. I mean, it wasn't what I would see in my head, wasn't what would come out on paper, and it would frustrate me so bad. And then the comparison thing, so I was like, I see these beautiful, wonderful things in my mind, and then I go to put it on paper and it looks like a 2-year-old drew it. And I'm like, I don't understand, God. And he's like, you do you, like, just be you. And yeah, it might look different. He's like, but that's your interpretation, and it's beautiful. And you're the only one that can design it like that. Like, he was like, stop trying to put it into some box of it needs to be, a masterpiece, or you can't paint anything at all, or it needs to be, a 4 foot by 5 foot thing, mural, or it's not real art. It can be a doodle, and it's enough. And it's powerful. And so I started to, reach out and kind of, well, what if I did do doodles, and I would give them as words to people, and people would like love them. And I'm like, it's a doodle. It's literally like a 10-minute doodle. But I stopped comparing myself with myself, even, or with other artists. And so believing in myself and conquering that, and like, no, I have something and it has value. And then jumping the hurdle of the comparison game of, it's not good enough, it's not enough, it's not enough, no, it is enough. And believing that and stepping out in that and having confidence, knowing that whether it's a line on a page or whether it's a 10-foot mural, it's enough. And it's my art, and it's my interpretation, and it's the way God designed me to bring that creativity to the world, and it's good.
Good.
And so that's where I'm at. I think that's been my two biggest pieces to overcome.
I think we all have dealt with those things. Believing that we have anything to offer, and comparing, because I think it's just what we do. And as creatives, we are very sensitive, and so we take things personally. We go, oh, they'll think it sucks,
Yes.
Speaking of which, I've got this. I don't know if you can see that
That's
doodle
beautiful.
that I did, and it says "out of the box," and
yes,
and it is just a doodle. And it is interesting how we talk ourselves down and we listen to the whispers of the enemy. And yet there's whispers of Holy Spirit that say, you
Absolutely.
have it. You have me in you. God designed you. He put me in your DNA. The master creator is in your DNA. And we it's like the old picture of the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other. There's these messengers. And why we tend to listen to the negative, I'm not quite sure, but it's very powerful, but maybe also because it's all around us. So, we have it in our culture. We have it, oh, be better, be thinner, be beautiful, be
Right.
smart, be creative, be this, be that, look like me,
Right.
and we were never designed to look like anybody else. We were never designed to express him like anyone else. And
Right.
so when artists, we as creatives, as artists, capture that, it gives us the freedom to be exactly what we are meant to be, what's in our DNA to express. Every voice matters. Our
Yeah.
voice matters. And we step into that and things change. So when you stepped in, like, what tools did you use to come about to switch from, okay, I don't believe in myself, or this is doesn't compare with my mom or with anything else? What tools did you use? Did God give you? What strategies to flip the script on that and actually move forward in what you're called to do?
Um, oh, that's kind of a story. I I was really burnt out, and I came to my current church. And at my current church, I met my really, really good friend, Angela, and she was doing Kingdom Create courses by Teresa Dedman. She was facilitating those. And I was like, oh, I love creativity. I want to do this. So I said yes, and I went. And I had no idea how flipped upside down my world was going to get creatively. I'm getting teary eyed. God completely met me there. He healed my heart in ways I didn't even know were hurting. Just constant encounters, through those creativity courses. Just going there with an open heart, and going there going, God, you've got something for me, and I need this. I need this breath of fresh life. I need this air. I need to reawaken my creativity. And so he did. And he just, little bits by little bits, healing my heart, bringing things up. And then he would give me a picture that I would draw over myself. And it was just freedom. These freedom encounters with everything that I did, every piece that I drew, everything that I painted. It was just these constant freedom encounters to heal my heart over the course of probably 2 years, I think. And I started to believe again. I started to create again. I started to, like I said, I would do doodles during church, during worship. God would give me these downloads, and I would see a picture and on the way to church or during worship or whatever. And I would just draw these doodles frantically. And I was like, God, who is it for? It was like this scavenger hunt game that God and I had going. And like, who's this picture for? Who's it for? And I'd look around and highlight somebody, and I'd go over and give it to them and pray and bless them. And then sometimes I'd hear the testimony, and they're like, you have no idea. Like, I would say, oh yeah, I gave this to so-and-so. And they're like, do you know what's going on with so-and-so? I'm like, I have no idea. And they're like, that's a huge blessing. Just these things. So over the course of time of, God healing my heart and reawakening that creativity, and me activating it and going, okay, I'm going to take a step of faith that this matters. This means something. This counts. This has value. So yeah, I think that was the switch, was just me getting my heart healed first, and then being able to carry that then to other people. And that's my biggest desire with everything that I'm doing is, with my writing, with my Hope Shoes, with anything that I create, is just I want to unlock people the way that I was unlocked, because I know it's possible, you know, and to be so bound up, to be so caged, and then to finally just be free, and I can fly, and I can be me, and I can be that wild colored cockatiel that's just, you know, crazy and bursting
Yeah.
out, you know, and I get to just flit and put joy everywhere I go, you know.
You
So it's like,
do, and
you
you do,
know,
and I love that. I love Angela.
yes,
She is our Southern Oregon Kingdom Writers Association chapter lead. I love her. She is also multi-talented.
yeah,
Her creative expressions just run the gamut. Love Teresa Dedman, and so she have played a big influence in my life too. And I love what God does through creative expression. He literally works supernaturally. He works supernaturally to heal us and then to heal others. So when you've got your breakthrough, you just can't wait to see everybody else get their breakthrough as well. That's, I mean, that's us. That's Bray,
yeah,
Max and Bray. That's us. We just want to see everybody like catch it and then run
free,
with it and
yes,
freedom to be who they are. And you were very specific to activate it, and that is really important, because we can get all the head knowledge, we can get our heart healed, but before we can experience the complete breakthrough, we have to take those baby steps and
yeah,
put it, activate it, put
yeah,
action to our breakthrough. It's only by putting action to it that we can realize how far we've come. And
yeah,
then we can express it to others and draw others into their freedom, pay it forward that way. And that is absolutely our bliss. I know it's your bliss, it's
yeah,
my bliss, it's just,
yes,
it's heavenly, it's heaven on earth, and to
yes.
see the kingdom extended in that way. So so what would you have to say to other creatives who are just starting their journey or somewhere in their journeys? What kind of advice or just sage wisdom would you like to impart to someone else who is maybe even struggling on their journey?
That's a good one. Um, I guess the first word that comes to mind is just trust. Trusting the process, trusting that you do hear God, trusting that you do have what it takes, trusting that the desire wouldn't be in your heart if God didn't put it there in the first place. You know, if creativity wasn't in my heart, in my DNA, then I wouldn't be a creative. I wouldn't have had to get healing and come out of that. So I think just trusting the process, just listening to that inner whisper of God, just going, no, you've got this. This is who you are. This is what you are meant to do. This is where you're going. And then going, okay, I don't feel it. I don't know if I believe it, but I'm going to take a step out and I'm going to do it anyway, because I think that's been my mantra too, is if I feel afraid, I do it afraid, and I just do it, and I just do it, and I just do it, and I just do it. And then all of a sudden I'm not afraid anymore. And I'm like, oh, I conquered that one. And then I have something else that I'm afraid of. And I'm going to do it afraid. I'm going to do it afraid. And then you just conquer it. And so just trusting that process and continuing to do the hard work of doing things afraid, and knowing that you're going somewhere, just keep moving forward. Even a crawl is moving forward, you know, even, and give yourself grace for the journey. Give yourself those moments when you don't feel creative, you feel like your creativity is blocked up and you don't know why. And, you know, break through it, but give yourself grace to feel those moments too, because life is a journey, and it's not all bed, you know, roses and sunshine. And we have those days where it's hard, and you have those days where, what am I even doing? Like, I call myself a creative, but I haven't created anything for months. That's okay. Just start again. Just believe again. Just try again. Do it afraid. Do it tired. Do it exhausted, because you find your joy and you reawaken yourself and your creativity. Just trust that process.
Yeah,
Just keep moving forward. Um,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
good. That's good. And we do tend to condemn ourselves, but there's no condemnation in Christ.
exactly.
So condemning yourself is just a lie from the pit of hell.
Yeah.
That you should even bother to do that. So embrace him, trust him. I love what you're saying, and trust and move forward. Trust and move forward.
Yeah.
From one just do it girl to another just do it girl. From one who's done it afraid over and over.
Yeah.
We have walked that same journey. And I love what you said. Do it afraid, but eventually you'll find you're not afraid anymore.
Yeah.
And that's when you discover the blessing that you get to play in the lives of others as well, which is a privilege and an honor to be serving God with our creative expression, which is our worship and
Yeah.
our warfare, right?
Yes.
So Charity, I'm going to post in the comments how they can get a hold of you, how our audience can get a hold of you. But why don't you tell them how can they find you and Hope Shoes?
Okay. I have an email address. It's hopeshoesbycharity@gmail.com. I'm also on Facebook. It's Hope Shoes by Charity, and on Instagram as well, Hope Shoes by Charity. I'm working on getting a website, which will be hopeshoesbycharity.com. And that's just not quite out there yet. But yeah, feel free to email me and go from there.
Yeah. So connect with Charity. And gosh, I'm just so thankful that we had this chance to hang today. I love you. I love what you're doing. I believe in you, and what God looks like through you is amazing and glorious and powerful and a blessing. And you blessed us today by taking the time to chat with me. So thank you so much. And
thank you for having me.
Very welcome. My absolute
Appreciate
pleasure.
it.
And God bless you, Charity.
God bless you too.
We'll see you soon. Bye-bye now.